Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a super exciting and budget-friendly DIYs that will instantly elevate your home decor. We're taking inspiration from the high-end looks of Pottery Barn and all of Atelier to create these stunning aged vases. You won't believe how easy and affordable these projects are. If you're new here, my name is Sonja and I love sharing DIY projects that give you that designer look for less. So if you love all things home decor and DIY, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. For these projects, you will need some thrifted vases or any old vase you have lying around, some flour, acrylic paints in earthy tones, sponges, and some paper towel. That is it. Simple and affordable. So let's get started. For the first project, I'm going to be using this two-handled vase that I've had for a while. I already made it over once, but I felt like it needed another makeover. And the inspiration for this vase is coming from all of Atelier. I am really liking the way these vases look, especially the medium size one. As you can see, these are $125, and all mine cost was a little bit of paint, which came probably under $1 since I already had the paints and I didn't use very much of it. So I'm going to use some acrylic black paint, some white paint, and I also I don't know why I picked up both black paints, but that was supposed to be a brown paint, chocolate brown, melted chocolate it's called. And then I'm also going to use my country gray chalk paint. Now, if I wasn't going to use a chalk paint, I probably would have mixed just some beige paint with some flour or baking soda just to give it that stony look for the vase. But my chalk paint's fairly thick, so it's giving me that chalky finish anyways, that resembles a bit of a stone finish. So I'm just going to use that, but you can totally make your own by mixing, like I said, flour or baking soda into your paint. And I'm going to cover this whole thing. This is going to be my base coat. I just want to have an even coat on this vase. I will be using this same paint for blending as well a little later on. So once the vase had some time to dry, I didn't want it to be completely dry just for blending purposes, but just a touch of dryness on it so it's not completely wet. I am going to wet my paper towel and dip it in. I had mixed the chocolate white and then I added some black, and I'm going to be dabbing this on and blending it all together. And you want to blend until it looks natural, so there's no like obvious lines or smears or anything like that. And then I'm going to be using also the base coat just to add more blending in. And this, I always say, you have your inspiration piece, you can adjust the color and the look of it any way you want. That's the beauty of creating something yourself, because you can totally get the colors to be exactly the way you want them to be, even though if you maybe did not love all the colors of the inspiration piece, when you're creating your own, you can add the colors that you want. I was going to wait to share these vases later on, but since I have used them in my fall decorating over on my home channel, I have gotten so many requests to share this video for you guys to get the idea the techniques that I used and how to do it yourself. So here we are, right smack in the middle of fall decorating fall DIY videos, but that's okay because I'm going to style them with some fall florals, so it's going to be almost like a fall DIY, but it's something that you can use all year long. I did end up switching my paper towel for just a little rag that I was doing the same exact technique. I was just finding must have a really bad quality towels that were falling apart on me. And here is how the vase turned out. I absolutely love it. I think it gave it a whole new life without spending any money. It's almost like having a brand new piece of decor in my house, and again for free. And I'm going to show you, I did pair it with some fall florals from Dollarama, and I think it looks absolutely stunning. What do you guys think? For my next project, I'm going to be using this vase that I had thrifted for $5. I absolutely love the shape of it, and the inspiration for this project is going back to Olive Atelier again. And here is my inspiration. So my project cost me, my vase cost me $5. This one is $145, and I think the style of it is fairly similar, the shape, I mean. And I'm going to be using almost the same paints that I used previously, just because I kind of want to keep the same color palette for my vases, so that way I can pair them nicely together. So this pot is called Indo Pot Ringed, and on their website is $145. So mine, I am at, like I said, $5 plus some paint. Oh, and I'm also going to use a piece of rope that I'm going to be attaching with the hot glue gun, just to give it that ribbed effect that the other vase has. Now, the nautical rope that I had was fairly thick, and I didn't want it that thick, but the other rope that I had was a little too thin, so I took the nautical rope apart and used just one of the strands. Like I said, I'm using a hot glue gun to glue this on. And I'm not looking for perfection as far as the height goes. I think it did end up looking a little bit wonky, but that's okay. It's the imperfections that make these vases look absolutely stunning. So once it was all glued on and cured, which took no time at all, I took the same beige paint and I was going to put it on. Now, being that this is a clear vase, glass vase, the chalk paint alone wasn't enough, so I do end up mixing it with the flour, just to get a bit of more of a almost like a plaster texture, so that way when I'm going to be applying it, it will be very, very thick and chunky, which is what I was going for. And it, at the same time, it gave me the coverage that I was looking for. I have been loving decorating with vases in this last year or so, and I have been slowly adding more and more to my decor stash. However, I did lose two of them just this past season. I was one of them was a clay pot, and I got somehow water on it, and the bottom fell off. So oh, here is the close-up of how chunky that paint actually looks. So as I was saying, and so I lost the bottom of that vase, so it became pretty useless. And I was okay with not having the bottom because I don't typically put water in it anyways, just usually some fake florals, but it was very uneven, and I was trying to sand it to make it even, and it just wasn't working. And then the other one I dropped while I was trying to put it away. But I did come across a really good thrift store that carries lots and lots of different vases, and they are reasonably priced. I find that's a Goodwill. Their prices for vases are much better than our Value Village. Value Village, you're paying anywhere from like $7.99 and up, whereas I have found most of these vases for $5 and under. So a lot more reasonable, and the sizes are typically the same for the price difference. So as you saw, I did use some makeup applicator just to add a couple of the chunky parts of the paint on there, just because I was finding that the brush wasn't really getting them on there. So I'm going to allow this vase to dry completely before I move on to another step. So for my next step, I'm using thick black paint. I have thickened this black paint with a little bit of flour, and I just had it left over from a different project, so I was just dabbing that on, and I'm dabbing it on with a crafter's sponge that I have wetted, and then I'm going back into the same base coat paint and blending it in. I am not going to be using the brown and white paint for this project. I am also not covering the whole vase with the sponging technique. I am just doing it at random spots. That way it will make it a little bit different than the other one, and it'll give me the effect that I'm looking for comparing to the inspiration piece, but it will still be very well matched with the other vase when I'm decorating. And here is how it turned out. I am obsessed with it. I absolutely love all the texture on it, and the fact that you can't even tell that that's an actual rope that's glued on there. And I love how it paired well with the little hay that's in there, the wheat. I keep calling it hay. And I love how it looks together with the other one on my fireplace. And if you want to check out any of my decorating videos, make sure you head on over to my home channel, which is linked down below. For my next project, I'm going to be making over these two vases. These actually belong to my mother-in-law, who has thrifted with the intention of getting me to make them over. I had finally gotten her to pick out what she wants to get done with them. So I'm going to give them a base coat just to have an even starting point. And I'm doing this the fastest way, which is spray painting it with this satin black spray paint. And here they are spray painted. That way I don't have any of those lines showing through. Then once inside and when completely dry, I mixed up some of that black acrylic paint with some flour just to get a lot thicker texture, because we are going to be trying to recreate this look from Pottery Barn. It is this Cortland vase from Cortland Vase collection. As you can see, it has a little pattern on it, and she really liked that pattern on this vase. So I'm going to try and create that with some luck. And she couldn't remember exactly how much she had paid for her vases. She believes it was $15 for both, and as you can see, regular price these are range from $112 to $141, but on sale is $78 to $99. So quite a bit of savings for her, $15, and then a little bit of paint that I have used. So like I said, I'm going to mix the black paint with the flour, so that way I can create that design that she is looking for. So one of the reasons why I have decided to spray paint that as well was because once I'm going to be creating the design, which I will be doing it with a pencil. You can do it with a chopstick, or one of those skewer sticks, or any thin object that can give you nice thin lines. I just had a pen on hand, so I am using that. But that way, when you are doing the lines, underneath it's not showing the original color. It is going to be that black base color that I spray painted on. I was working in sections because I was worried that if I paint the whole thing all at once and go with a pen, that the first section would dry out on me. So here are the lines. I think that is looking pretty good. So I'm going to continue the same process for the rest of the vase, working in sections. So I am just finishing this here, and I will be doing the other one as well, the taller one, but I'm not going to bore you with the same process because it's exactly the same, but this way you can see how I did it for both of them. I think they turned out beautiful. Here they are all dried. She absolutely loved them. She loved the fact that they had so much character versus just a simple paint job. I paired them with some Timu branches, and I think they are going to be great on her fireplace for her fall decor, since I had inspired her to decorate her home for fall. And here is the final look. Again, for all these aged vases look so high-end and add a perfect touch of rustic elegance to any space. Whether you style them on a shelf, console table, or as a centerpiece, or a fireplace as I did, there's sure to be a conversation starter. I hope you guys enjoy these easy and affordable DIYs. If you try any of these projects, be sure to tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see your creations, and don't forget to subscribe for more home decor and DIY inspirations. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.